Hi, I'm Najy.
I'm Alivia.
And we're the Lipstick Thespians.
And today, we have an exciting palette. At least to me it's exciting. I bought this palette a little while ago, and we haven't gotten a lot of opportunity to play with her yet.
I've used a few shades, like maybe 3 or 4 shades out of it.
I think I've looked at the dips in here, and there's not many, so yeah. I think I used like 1 shade one time. I'm happy today to use her, because under the guidelines of this challenge, I basically have to use the whole thing. Which, she is the Melt Radioactive palette.
This palette is beautiful.
The packaging is beautiful. This was originally available from Melt as one of their stacks, but they revamped it as an entire palette. And we actually don't own any of the Melt stacks yet. We have like one on our radar. We kind of like the blueprint stack, but other than that, I've swatched their stacks before, but some people complain about the difference between the two. I don't see a large difference between the two, and if anything, I slightly prefer the palettes, if for nothing else, because it's more convenient, which is kind of funny because I know the stacks were made out of convenience, but I don't know. With the way we store our palettes, storing the stacks would be a little weird.
Yeah, the stacks would probably go with, I mean, it kind of makes sense for them to go with our mini palettes, but it'd probably sit down with where we store our mini palettes.
Yeah. Well, anyways, let's open her up. For all of you that haven't seen her yet, here is what the Radioactive palette looks like. She is a pretty classic neon rainbow palette, with the exception of the fact that that's pink instead of red, but because it's neon, we'll forgive her. It is time to put my Melt palettes that I have acquired like they're hot to the test.
On this channel, we prime before we do all of our eye looks. I use the Too Faced Shadow Insurance.
And I use the Bare Minerals Eyeshadow Plus Primer.
I am going to take my fluffy Luxie brush right here, and I am going to dip into this pink shade Radioactive.
Alright, we are not using the same color. Almost, though. Because I am going to take my trusty Glam Light brush and dip into the shade, I believe it's called Radon.
Radon? Yeah, Radon.
I'm going to dip into this orange shade right here called Radon. How did beauty gurus dip like this? Like, this is literally the stupidest way to dip into a palette. No offense. I understand why I'm dipping into it like that, because I'm showing you, but also, like, it's really hard.
The struggles no one teaches you about going into YouTube.
True. Oh, yeah, I'm also going to pack this, like, all over my lid. Who would have known?
I'm taking this and I'm putting this in that sweet spot between my crease and my nose, taking it about halfway through the crease.
I have another color planned for that spot myself. This orange, like, perfectly matches my damn hair.
Oh, wow, it does. The one thing I really like about this shade is you can like pack it on really intensely, but then you can just drag it and it will get a lot softer, so it fades really nicely. So if you're going for a softer look, you can kind of just put a bunch on and then blend it to get it to the softness that you desire.
Yeah, I see that. I'm gonna put a little more of the orange near my crease, of course, but I do like this for blending it out on the edges a lot. Like this formula, I mean. Not this brush necessarily. Like, this brush is fine. It's an ABH brush. Everybody and their mother knows how these work. Yes, even your mother, who knows like 3 things about makeup.
Alright, and then I'm going to take this Luxie brush again, and now I am going to dip into the shade Radon.
Beautiful. Like my hair!
This is going to go in the center part of the crease.
This is how I dye my hair, guys. Not really. No, it really is, actually. No. We are an Arctic Fox household when it comes to hair dye. If anybody was wondering, probably not, but you know, on the off chance.
Cause I'm an emo at heart, I've always low-key wanted to try Good Die Young.
Me too. It's okay. When I was emo,
When I was a young emo.
I'm still emo, but like when I was like really emo, I used what every emo used for their hair before Good Die Young existed, which was Manic Panic.
I was poor and I used Splat, which was a poor life choice.
Don't use Splat. Save yourself.
Get your friend to drive you to Sally Beauty to get you a proper bleach kit. Get some dye there. Probably would recommend Arctic Fox, but they have. I don't recommend. What's that one brand? I don't recommend Ion.
Ion sucks.
I don't recommend. A lot of people have been recommending Punky Color lately. Don't use Punky Color. It smells amazing, but it fades really fast and bleeds all over everything. Was not a fan of that one.
Yes. Even today I would definitely recommend Arctic Fox over Manic Panic, but Manic Panic is not bad. If it's your only option, if that's your option out of some of the others listed over her, get it.
Yeah.
But if you have the choice, Arctic Fox reigns supreme. Yeah, Arctic Fox reigns supreme.
Yeah.
They formulate it to specifically fade within its own color family, so if you dye your hair blue like I'd like to do sometimes, not right now, but hey, it won't fade to a yucky ass mucky green.
Which has happened to me before and is disgusting.
I'm going to now take the packing side of the Beige brush and dip into the shade Radioactive. I don't like Imagine Dragons. Someone said I looked like I liked Imagine Dragons and I was offended. I gotta be honest, I was kind of offended.
It's okay, I was offended by the person who said I looked like I listened to Blood on the Dance Floor.
God damn it, true?
Like, I get it, I have seen kid hair, but also no.
Sorry, I keep using the mirror of the palette, I just want to hoard it to myself. But I have this mirror, or this palette, this is a palette, not a mirror, these are palettes, obviously. If you know Uoma, these are palettes.
Say product placement. We love these.
We love these. Unfortunately, none of the Uoma palettes that are currently out are true, and none of them are true rainbow palettes, so they will not be featured in this series. But I promise you they will be featured on our channel soon enough.
These two like make a really pretty coral shade mixed together, which I'm kind of living for.
And then I'm also going to take this tiny Luxie brush and blend out the outer edges. And then I'll, repeat that on the other side like a proper human being.
I'm going to take my fluffy Luxie brush right here, and I am going to go into the shade Xenon, this lime green. So it's kind of a different shape of an eye look than I normally go for. It's a little bit more rounded.
You see? Oh, cute. My brows are like not quite of even height, so sometimes that makes evening out my eye looks to like look up equal like height for each color difficult. Especially because I like to maximize my lid space because I'm quote like this.
It's okay, I also like to maximize my lid space.
Because you're quote like this?
My life was forever changed when I decided, yeah, you know what? Eyeshadow goes up to the brow.
Right, true.
I don't know what sparked that in me, but once I went there, I haven't gone back.
I'm going to take this tiny little doodad of a Morphe brush and dip into the shade Xenon. Is that what it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Sickening. Sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong. I don't care enough about science. And I'm going to pop that right up in here.
We're going to take this Morphe Jeffree Star crease brush right here, and we're going to go into the shade Neon, and this is going to go in my inner corners. This is also going to meet up with that pink.
I'm going to take this tiny blending Morphe brush and take a little bit of Xenon on it again and just diffuse.
I'm going to take this Luxie packing brush right here, and I'm going to go into the shade Uranium. I'm just going to go in the center of my lid.
And I'm going to take my little tiny Morphe doodad again and dip into the shade Arsenic. And that's going to go in my inner corner. Like the inner portion of my inner corner. I can't think of...
This shade is just so pretty. I think this is my favorite color in the palette.
It is a truly gorgeous color.
I am going to take the packing side of an ABH brush, and I am now going to go into the shade Arsenic and put that on the outer portion of my lid.
I'm going to take this Morphe brush and dip into the shade Neon, and I'm going to put that on my lids. Still have to figure out where I'm putting a purple, but I love this look so far.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Thank you.
We've used like all of the same shades thus far, and it's turned out really different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice going, kid.
I wasn't sure because I wasn't looking over, so I just was hearing the shade names, and I was like, oh.
Well, I'm going to keep that train going, and I'm going to go into shade Uranium with this little Morphe brush. I'm going to put that on my lower lash line.
I'm going to take this clean blending brush, and I'm just going to blend it all together.
I'm going to take the little Morphe blending brush. Did I mention that we love this brush set?
Yeah.
The Morphe Suede. The Morphe X Suede brush set, a winner. I don't know if they still have it, but it's a winner.
I bought it mainly for the glitter packing brush, which we lost, and the fanny pack, which we've yet to use. Because I got that fanny pack because I was like, okay, when concerts happen again, that's going to be the perfect thing to bring to a concert.
True. Because so many now are like, you have to have a clear bag or no bag. And I'm like, but I don't want to carry around a clear backpack every day. That sounds like tragic.
I almost bought a clear backpack from TJ Maxx.
Okay.
I actually had a clear backpack at one point that I got for free from a contest I won as a kid.
Beautiful. I'm all set on this side. I don't know about you.
I'm all set over here too.
So I'm going to put some liner on, some mascara, some lips, and we'll be right back.
Final thoughts.
I love my look. Absolutely love my look.
I really like how we literally used all of the same shades,
yes,
and we got two very different looks out of it. And I think that it speaks to the versatility of this palette.
Also, shout out to my eyeliner. I'm using the Norvina Cake liners. I've obviously used the white shade, which is called Opaque White, and it's pretty opaque. The opacity on her is real. But, yes, this little palette is pretty damn versatile, and I had a lot of fun.
Yes.
I think this palette, though a neon palette, especially because of the formula, as Najy had mentioned a little earlier, is really good if you want to have a softer look, because if you do pack this on and blend it out, you will get that softer, more pastel effect that you are looking for. But you can also just pack these guys on and get that pigment. Yeah.
Yeah. How will this palette fall in our rainbow ranking?
We'll have to wait and see. But for now,
Be sure to like
subscribe
and ring the bell.
What's your favorite melt palette? If you have one. If not, which one is your favorite aesthetically?
Which one do you want most? Or if you absolutely hate melt, let us know.
How is my question. If you absolutely hate melt. How?
Till next time, thank you for watching. Mwah!